Hey there friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Suicide Squad and the new build that I've made for the game. Now, this build, I've talked about it a bit in a previous video, but I've basically completely reworked it to where it's way more powerful, and you can get to over 200 level mastery with this. Like, that's how powerful it is. So we're going to be talking about that today. Now, if you do want to see more things like this from the channel, just go ahead and click that subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get started. Now, we're going to start with the talents, because this is what is required, and this is because this is mainly a glitch. Now, what you're going to want to do is you 100% need to have Ring-a-Ding active, which is right here. It's at the bottom. You're going to need Fortissimo, and you're going to need Ultimate Opening Gag. Now, those are the most important. I would suggest doing what I have directly on screen, but you do not have to. You can come up with your own specific build. Now, you can use other grenades, okay? The grenade that works best with this is the Scarecrow grenade. I've tested it with a few different ones, with the Polka Dot Man one and stuff, but this is the grenade that works best with this build, just due to its sheer size. Now, we're going to go one by one and talk about why I have each of the pieces here. Now, starting with the Master Punch-Through Bane's Rage Tier 1 shotgun. The reason that this is here is simply for the fact that it does give us a craze effect on melee. And you're basically not going to be using this gun at all. You're going to be using this gun right here, which is Tachycardia. This is going to be giving you the ability to poison enemies with each hit. Basically, what you're going to want to do is just reload it with the timed reloads 5 times. That will increase your chances of poisoning an enemy by a good amount. Hold on one second. One more. There you go. 5 of those. Now, the reason that it does that, successful critical reloads trigger a stack of Mind Melt. This stacks 5 times, and each stack adds a 20% chance to poison enemies hit from this firearm. And then also, failing critical reload will remove this. So once you have it, if you're not good at the critical reloading, or you don't want to risk it with the lag, because this build does cause lag, just don't do it. Now, I will say, you do not have to use this gun specifically. Another gun that will work well with this is going to be the Dr. Poison weapon, because it does poison enemies. And these poison things, the reason that this is here is simply to get rid of Green Lantern shields, and then you're basically going to be using grenades. Now, this gun, if you do not want to use this gun, you do not have to. Another gun I'd suggest would be using the bullet-propelled grenade weapon. This will spawn grenades when you critical hit an enemy. This down here, which is Boomtown, which also kind of does the same thing. Now, for the perks, I do just mainly have XP stuff equipped, but outside of that, I've got Shield Harvest Chance to just help get more shield. Suicide Strike Resource, which is always going to be helpful. Suicide Strike Resource, once again, shotgun damage, and XP once again. Now, with the melee, we've got Mad Hatter's 4-Leaf Clover. And this is simply because it is what works best at the higher level mastery stuff. Two-Face's Persuader works pretty good up until the point that enemies can't be crazed anymore, which makes it completely useless, basically, which is why I did switch it to this. Now, this is going to give you, each enemy you hit with this attack is going to become poisoned. Wait, each enemy you hit with a melee attack becomes poisoned. Okay, well, I just realized that this weapon's completely useless, so I'm stupid, but apparently I didn't realize that that already gave you that, so I'm gonna switch to this, but I'd still mostly recommend using the shotgun. Now, since I did just equip this rocket-propelled grenade thing, I'm going to quickly give it some perks and stuff, and I'll be right back. Now, I've just added all of the perks for this gun, and we've got XP, Shield Harvest, and damage to infused enemies. That's just to help kill the Batman and Flash enemies, and if this still works by the next update, the Green Lantern enemies that are going to be coming. Anyways, as I was saying with this, it's going to poison enemies and help you regenerate some shield. I've just got XP stuff on it and Suicide Strike resource gain, because that'll help you to get Suicide Strikes, which are going to be really useful against the brute enemies, the destroyer ones, even with how powerful these grenades are. Now, we also have the Keep Your Hat On synergy. When you kill an enemy with critical hit, you'll get all these bonuses randomly. So that is just really going to help out. Now, we do also have the Venom Frenzy Affliction equipped. And the reason for that is that even though it doesn't apply it, the Venom on these higher difficulties, it is still going to break the Lantern Shield. So this is good if you want to just quickly clear out shields for big groups of enemies. Now, next we have the Master Hyperventilation Grenade. Now, I do have grenade pickup radius increased with this one specifically because it'll just make it easier to have the grenades that are spawned be picked up without having to move any slower. I also do have this, as you can see, this blue perk. This is extremely necessary for the high difficulties. There is a perk where you can get shield regenerated for each enemy killed instead of hit, and it gives you more shield, but this is going to be more helpful as you are hitting every single enemy on the map with each grenade, so this basically instantly refills your shield every grenade. I also just once again have XP gained. Now, the reason that there is deep freeze on this is specifically for the brutes, because the brutes do have like some damage resistance and have a lot of health, so this will help you kill all of the destroyers. It's just by throwing an ice grenade and then throwing a few normal grenades. Now, next is the Lucky Charm, which I talked about a little bit. I just have critical hit damage increased on this one and some extra XP. Next is the Reverse Flash Neck Bomb, which is extremely useful because it gives you 25% more damage up to 250%, and it gives you 10% squad ultimate resource every single second. And that only happens when your health and shield are full, and that's why with the grenade I have like it gives you shield, and all of the other stuff is kind of made around giving you shield, because this will keep your shield active at all times, which keeps you getting the squad ultimate active and keeps you getting grenades. Next is the Turtle Traversal mod, and this is from the default Season 0 Finite Crisis, so if you want to get that, you'll have to go back into that. This basically increases your damage by 500%, because every second that you're not moving, you get Speed Force Exhaustion, which gives you 50% increased damage and up to 10 times. And if you're still, it gives you damage reduction, but you're going to want to be just moving constantly so you have that 500% extra damage. That just increases your grenade damage by a lot more. And the perks with this one that I have are increased grenade radius, same reason as before, and damage to brute enemies. This is going to help you kill the destroyers and stuff, as well as I do have damage to enemies that are 25 meters or further away is increased, is because the grenades hit every enemy on the map, so they're most likely going to be 25 meters away. Then we have the Two-Face Fickle Fate, and this is XP, shield overcharge, and damage while shield is at 100%. The damage while shield is at 100% is because, once again, you're going to have shield basically full at all times, and shield overcharge is basically to keep you having your shield and give you more padding for your shield, essentially. Now, critical hit kills with this either increase your damage dealt by 100% or increase your damage reduction for 30 seconds, and it stacks 3 times, which is pretty useful. It's also going to be giving you the villain synergy bonus, Dread and Mayhem. When you kill an enemy with a suicide strike, you have a 100% to trigger either Dread or Mayhem. Dread causes enemies within 20 meters of you to take 250% more damage, and Mayhem causes enemies within 20 meters of you to deal 50% less damage. This is basically not necessary. It doesn't really affect much. You're not going to be killing people with suicide strikes, really. Now, if you didn't watch the previous video, the way that these grenades work is that they build up damage over time. And what this means is that you're going to need to build it up before it starts having a huge blast radius. So you'll see right there, even as I've just loaded into the game and just been in this firing range for a minute, it's already at like 500,000 damage. And once you build this up, you're going to be doing a ton of damage. Now, before you go into these high mastery level missions, I would suggest either going around Metropolis and killing enemies to build up combo and just increase your grenade damage, or just staying in the Hall of Justice and on the firing range, because it will work to build it up here as well. Now, as you can see, once again, just doing 500,000 damage every single time I throw one of these grenades. Now, we are going to go outside because I prefer to do it like that, just going around, because you will also be getting some Battle Pass XP. Speaking of Battle Pass XP, tomorrow I'm going to be making a video about how to get Battle Pass XP extremely fast. So if you want to see that, click that subscribe button. Sorry for the advertisement. Now, if you do have squad talents unlocked and have them out, you are going to want to do some very specific stuff. Now, also, I will say, do XP just because that's helpful always, but that's not necessary for this build. I'm just mentioning that you should do that. Now, what you're going to want is grenade damage, obviously, as well as grenade ammo drop chance. This just is going to help you have more grenades. But what's really going to be useful is squad ultimate resource generation. If for some reason you don't have any grenades and can't get a grenade and you don't have shield, this is going to help you get that ultimate back and active without having to worry about the reverse flash thing being active. Now, I'd also suggest having damage dealt during squad ultimate, critical hit chance, damage to brute enemies, and damage while airborne. But those three, the grenade one and this, are going to be the ones that you're going to want to get most. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you something very cool, because last night I was testing this build and I got to the top of the leaderboard basically by just using this build. The leaderboard hasn't actually updated for some reason. I don't know when exactly this happens, but like if you go in here, go to killing time in this, I got to over 200 and it hasn't quite appeared yet, but when it does, I'll be at the literal first place for the leaderboard. So with this, you're going to be able to do extremely well, and it's not very hard at all. It's extremely simple. Like I said before though, do build this up in the open world or in the Hall of Justice before you do go into these high-level mastery missions, because it is much harder to build it up in there. Killing time, it doesn't matter as much because they do start off pretty easy. But if you do the other missions, it's going to be a lot harder if you don't build it up first. Anyways, I'm going to go off camera and just get to a really high mastery in killing time and show you just how powerful this truly is. Alright, so first check-in. We are at mastery level 79 currently with very little difficulty. It's taken a bit longer because I didn't build it up much before I came into the area. But it's still not hard at all. Like, at all. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of these Green Lantern enemies, and I've got to rebuild up my thing because I accidentally clicked the reload thing wrong. Now, one thing that's really funny is that the nuke will immediately eliminate every hit squad, or most of the hit squads minus one. One specific one does not get eliminated, but for the most part, you're going to be eliminating the hit squads with one grenade if you build it up enough. Now, as you can see, all of these guys are getting shielded, so we're just going to use the shotgun to get rid of all of that while throwing some grenades around. It is kind of hard to aim with the lag, but it's not impossible. As you can see, we lost a lot of health and then instantly got it back from the grenades. We're up to almost 100 now, just a few minutes later. It's still extremely easy. Once again, hit squad is eliminated with a single grenade. Or actually, I think they survived. I think I threw the grenade right before they spawned. Hold on. I'm going to activate that in part of Q. And there we go. I think that they are gone now. Weren't too hard to eliminate. Honestly, the hit squads just help boost your mastery level very quickly. I'll come back in like 15 minutes once we reach like 150 or something. Alright, so we reached 150. We actually got a little bit over, but it's still pretty easy. Now, at this point, you're going to need to break the shields. This is the point where you're gonna can't just will it to die with just grenades. You're gonna have to clear out the shields. Like I said before, use either the Scarecrow shotgun or the Dr. Poison weapon. One of those is going to be what you need to use. Actually, getting kind of low here, but it's okay because one grenade will send you all the way back up. I will come back when we're about to hit 200. So I'm at 170, and the only reason I'm showing you this is because just in case the game crashes once we reach to like 200, because the game's starting to get pretty freezy, I would like to have some sort of example of it at a super high level. So here it is. This is 170, and we're killing everything pretty easily still. Alright, we are simply 3 levels away from reaching 200 mastery. So we're gonna just go ahead and do that. Just wipe out these enemies really quickly. I'm sure this looks really great on YouTube. Anyways, we reached 200 mastery. We got a hit squad incoming. Is it anything special for 200? I'm thinking no. Your death will be the last sin of Oda. Oh, these guys are easy. This will get us well past 200. We're at 204, and I'm gonna go ahead and just head to the portal because I don't want it to not save this because it crashes or something. So you can definitely reach over 200 mastery with this. I'd say it probably is gonna stop being helpful, or it's 250, 260 mastery, but yeah. We reached 205, and we definitely could have gone a lot higher. And that's the end. If you want to try out this build, I highly recommend it. If it is a glitch, and I'm 99% sure that it is, but it will probably be fixed. So if you want to use this before then, I'd highly recommend doing so now while you can. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all next time.